Good evening and welcome to Business Today on Channel I. On this program, we talk about business, entrepreneurship, and many interesting topics with high-profile individuals. Today's guest is the spokesman and the Additional General Manager, Internal Affairs, the Bureau of Foreign Employment of Sri Lanka, Mr. Mangala Randeniya. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to take part in this Business Today program.
It's our pleasure. Now, to start off today's questionnaire, I would like to ask you, how can foreign employment aid in this time in Sri Lanka?
Absolutely, this is the most wanted and the required sector for the country. We know when we look at the past, this is the net profit foreign exchange earner, the highest when it comes to the comparative analysis. It is the highest. It was the highest. Now the present day also, it's giving fullest cooperation, but not to the level that it helped to the national economy. Like before 2020 is the last year, the year that we got 7.1 billion US dollars to the country through foreign remittances. This industry itself contributed that much. But in 2021, it was reduced to 5.1. Now is at a certain the level, not to the level that it was.
All right, so we're slowly picking back up now.
Yeah, slowly picking back, and we are trying our best to encourage the Sri Lankan migrant workers working in overseas to remit through formal channel. This is due to not sending their remittances through formal channels. That is the present situation. But when we look at the April data of the central bank, that was US dollars 1,248,000.
Okay.
But when it was compared in 2020 April, it was 600 plus million of US dollars. Now we observe the slight increase of May. It has come to 306 US dollars, 306 US dollars million. So we observe slight increase. What we need to do, the Ministry of Employment and Ministry of Labour and Foreign Employment and the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, together with the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank. So we are trying to encourage our Sri Lankans living the country and at the moment who are engaged in foreign employment to remit their remittances through the formal channel to their own accounts.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, something we hear quite often is that Sri Lanka is in dire need of foreign exchange flows. How can Sri Lanka boost these foreign exchange flows exactly?
Yeah, this is now we had a discussion even with bankers and central bank yesterday. We co-chaired, the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment co-chaired this session. So there we had an analysis now. You know that during that hard period, in order to see some changes in flow, remittance flow, the central bank introduced 10 rupee additional amount to the $1 remittances. So that 2 rupees given by the central bank and the government, another 8 rupees is altogether 10 rupees. But with that 10 rupees, even we couldn't see a trend of increase in remittances, because this is mainly due to the gap between the black market, means the informal channel and formal channel. So unfortunately we had a time that we stopped the flowing. That was the official, the rate given to the dollar, the rupee rate given to the dollar was fixed deliberately. It's not the natural flow. Right. It was not allowed to have the natural level of the rate, so that then finally the government decided, so that then the both rates went up, unfortunately. Now also there is a gap, but even the workers are like to entertain even that gap, though it is not the previous gap. What we want to do, reducing the gap and also giving some incentives for the workers sending their money through formal channels. So we have given suggestions for that one. The Bureau of Foreign Employment and the Ministry of Labour and Foreign Employment forwarded suggestions to the Finance Ministry and to the Central Bank and to the Cabinet to give them other incentives, like those who are sending their money through formal channels to their bank accounts, then at a certain point, annually or biannually, when they are returning back to the country, allowance of duty-free allowance. Normally, anyone is having duty-free allowances at the arrival airport, but there will be another slab for the workers who have sent their money to the formal channel, to their bank accounts.
So they have a bigger advantage.
Yeah, bigger advantage.
Okay.
And also other non-financial privileges which can be given locally for their family members, like recognition of their children for schools, then the subsidized rate of bank loans, and supporting for them to import some vehicles, not for just consumptions but for industrial use. So those are new suggestions that we have forwarded. We will see how this the superstructure responds to this the worth proposals, so that then there will be a trend of sending money to the normal channels. But apart from all these things, we as nationals in the country, so that we need to have kind of a proactive and kind of a good relationship to be built with the population working abroad and the population here in Sri Lanka. They are family members, they are dependents. So I think we have experienced previous years that we had a very good relationship. My example is, look at 2020, which was the very bad year for Sri Lanka, in which that corona challenged the entire economic activities. But at that time, the migrant workers in overseas, they sent $7.1 billion US. Why? They observed the countries, their mother country is facing natural disaster, the pandemic. That disaster was, no one is trying to escape, and everybody is trying to help out the mother country to get rid of this situation. So they send whatever they earned to the mother country during that period, for country to come up with good come to a good situation.
Right. So they wanted to help the country at that time.
At that time.
Right.
Why not now?
Yeah.
Where is the gap, and why this relationship was broken? So that has to be revisited and rebuild the relationship. That is what we are suggesting. And we being the Bureau of Foreign Employment, making every possible efforts to convince our stakeholders to have the relationship again and think of their family members and other nationals. So that's kind of a social responsibility of everybody's.
Exactly. Now this sounds like an excellent strategy, but do you mind telling us some of the issues that arose when you implemented, or when you're trying to bring this strategy into practice?
Yeah, that is what now now the strategy is proposed, and this is up to the approval. So what we see, the other stakeholders who are connected, the line departments and ministries, they also are having certain concerns on when this target populations population is treated.
Okay.
So we will see, but we can't so far. But we have addressed certain issues which were.
So you felt like they were starting to creep up, and you.
That's right.
Okay,
so
okay.
that has been addressed.
Right.
We are waiting for the answers.
That's good news.
Yes.
And how soon can we expect these state workers to start their new jobs abroad?
Yeah. So this is the issue. Now the government sector. The government sector staff is, that has so many analyses. I'm not going to bring those analyses to this table, but everybody is having their own, reservations and concern on those factors. What is now required is government needs to reduce the budget. The government servants, the salary budgets to be deducted to a great extent, for which the strategy is allowing the government servant to go abroad. The concept note has been submitted, and I think so far the draft circular is being prepared, but the circular has not yet been issued. So we are waiting till the circular issued, but for which the SLBFE has developed a portal in our website, www.slbfe.lk, the government service sector, government servants to lodge their the interest, their applications. Those who are interested, lodge their applications to our website. So we are having a survey these days. How many are willing to engage? What are those areas and their skills and their age and interest and things are now being observed. So we will see if that is being issued, then we will explore opportunities for them, not very special opportunities, but for especially qualified people, there will be so many opportunities. But what is targeted at the moment is large number of service providing the staff recruited to the divisional secretariat level, not the high ranking officials performing in other categories. So that particular category, I believe they will have to have extra qualification to meet the foreign employment requirement.
Right. And I would also like to know, what role do the foreign employment agencies have in this quest? Of
course, now foreign employment agencies are the stakeholder. So they are the stakeholder. So then they bring foreign employment opportunities to our country.
Right.
The licensed foreign employment agents, they have been recognized as licensed foreign employment agent. So they bring foreign employment opportunities, we grant approval for them. They are the main player in this industry. So they can canvas, they can do marketing overseas countries, they have developed a lot of business relationship with the counterparts in destination countries. So they are going for other non-traditional destinations, the very popular the destinations. So then they search employment opportunities for Sri Lankans, and they bring all these employment opportunities and they do recruit. So the Bureau of Foreign Employment is facilitating and supporting foreign employment agents even now to recruit and do interviews in our own centers. The SLBFE having the provincial and district level network, we have invited foreign employment agents to do your recruitments, do your interviews in our own centers other than finding other places because the costly. So we need to facilitate. Now the 1985 number 21 Act has given provision for Bureau of Foreign Employment to extend fullest cooperation to promote the labor migration industry to the licensed foreign employment agents. So the provision is available. So we are inviting licensed foreign employment agents to place their request and get the support of the Bureau of Foreign Employment to do the expedited way of the recruitment.
Great. Now, when it comes to foreign employment and actually going to a different country to start a new career, a lot of people are wondering which country might be best for them. So something that I wonder as well is what countries actually offer better chances of employment?
Right. Now, I'm not going to have a comparative analysis because all the destination countries are favorable and is blessing for Sri Lanka. But there are in the sense that people are having some perception in their mind. Those destinations are better than the other destination, and they have their own analysis on several destinations. But when it comes to the foreign employment sector, in terms of the country's benefit, what is most important is the Middle Eastern destination, because people go for a contractual period and earn and send the money back to the country, and the person also coming back to the country. So there are other destinations where they can go and stay and live
forever. So, just stay there.
Just stay there. So, but if anyone is willing to get that chance, okay, let them get, and we will assist them to get how to get that greener pastures.
Yeah.
Right. But what is now important for youth is the market Japan, the labor market Japan. Why I am telling, this is special emphasis from the government side. We have the same weightage for other destinations, no doubt, fine. We promote the other destinations. But at the same time, what I am telling, the youth interested searching greener pastures, okay, well, get ready to go to Japan. That's what I am telling. Why I am telling that? Because 2 doors open under 2 bilateral agreements with government of Japan. So the G to G, the government to government, 2 agreements signed so far. Then through these 2 agreements, the youth can entertain, youth can get the chance. One is the technical internship, the other one is the specified skilled worker program. Now, if a person dedicates 6 month period for learning to get the qualification Japanese language competency, we assist, we support them to go to Japan on a specified skilled sector occupations. So they can go for 5 years and they can get another 5 years, and they are coming to a professionally recognized career path in Japan. And even the chance is after 5 years, they can convert to the second level and get their spouses even to Japan. So this I recognize as a blessing destination for Sri Lanka, because at least 5 years they are working there and sending money to our country through formal channels, and then they can get their spouse also to Japan and work together and live together, and then they can come back to the country.
So it's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation. So what we advise presently, start learning Japanese language. We have facilitated people to come and learn in our training centers through in person and online system. Both methods now being applied for interested parties to join with us. That's one destination. Why I am telling about that, the government of Japan has forecasted 350,000 occupations by 2025 in Japan. Is almost 350,000 opportunities available in Japan for youth, 18 plus to 35 age people. So what they need to do, learn in Japanese language and pass in the exam. Now Sri Lanka is having exam. What exams? Now people are talking about other destinations. No, I'm talking about the exam which is the eligibility criteria for giving visas. Now if the person gets through the exam, Japanese language exam, which is called JFT, Japan Foundation Test Basic, And the occupational skill test may be health caregiver or food service or other areas. There are 14 categories. So far we are having 2 exams, but we have requested other exams also. So Japanese language competency level and the skill test pass people are given the visas, because this is the most wanted thing. Whatever that effort that you made, if you are not in a position, or rather if you are not getting the visa, then it's no way, you can't go. But that is being now declared, visa eligibility is granted based on this exam results. Why not we get ready?
Yeah, exactly. Now, we have come towards the end of our program, but before we conclude, I would also like to ask you, now you mentioned a country that has a big chance for Sri Lankans to travel abroad, and I would also like to know, are there any specific sectors that offer better chances for occupations?
You mean in Japan or other countries?
Not in Japan. In
that's right. Now the other one is, I need to tell it, because for which even we have signed the MOU, that is a bilateral agreement with the government of Israel and Sri Lanka. So with that bilateral agreement, the Sri Lanka has been given a chance for Sri Lankan caregivers to come to government of Israel, the state of Israel, for a period of maximum 5 years, and earning in dollars it is $1,500 to $2,000 per month, with living accommodation and things. So that is also big opportunity for only females by now.
Okay.
Not for male caregivers.
All right.
Yeah, enough applications are there for male caregivers, so that Israel government inform us officially, well, now they entertain only female candidates applications. They must have National Vocational Qualification Level 3 competency on caregiving. That is the requirement, and is English speaking ability, so that those who are willing to come for this stream go to a vocational training center under TVEC approval, get the NVQ level 3 caregiver and learn English language and lodge your application. We send the application every Monday to Israel, and there will be a lottery every month. That lottery selects some candidates, and they have been interviewed and contracts been sent.
All right, thank you so much for bestowing all of that knowledge upon us. That was Mr. Mangala Randeniya, the spokesperson and the Additional General Manager Internal Affairs from the Bureau of Foreign Employment in Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you so much.
And that concludes today's episode of Business Today. Do join us next week as well. Till then, have a good night.